We don't give a fuck about the money you make, the job that you have, or anything like that when it comes to a relationship. You can be a breadwinner. Cool. Fuck. Awesome. Congratulations. But when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to our marriage, that does not mean a fucking thing to most men. Because most men don't value our relationship based off of the money that we have. How men value our relationship is based off the effort you put inside of the relationship. And here's something else, and just in case women didn't know this, y'all do the same shit. Y'all value the relationship based off the man that you're with, efforts that he put in towards that relationship. So that essentially means what men are simply looking for is not a woman to sit here and pay his bills. And if that's the type of man that he is, that's look for a woman like that, as a real fucking man, I'm going to tell you to leave that man alone. But real men don't give a fuck about money. You know what we care about? We care about our peace. We care about our respect. Respect us. That's it. So here's the answer to that what the fuck portion of my prompt. The reason why most women cannot allow a man be a man is simply because they do not respect men. This comes from two different reasons, right? Number one is they're not brought up, like Miss Lanier and Miss Story that we had up here in a second ago. They're not brought up to sit here and respect men. A lot of women are actually brought up to hate men or to use men for the resources that man has, period. Point blank, as simple as that.
For his wallet.
The other second reason why most women cannot sit here and respect men is literally because they do not allow men to sit here and tell them what to do at all, period. Exactly. They want to sit here and fight. They want to sit here and argue. They want to cut off every other word. They don't want to sit here and listen. They don't want to sit here and hold themselves accountable. It's like most women are afraid of that fucking word, being accountable.
Right.
That's not being accountable. That's you telling men that they could tell women what to do, which is not the reality of the world. You think?
No, that's not the reality of the world. If I'm sitting here and I say, you know what, I don't like the way that you talk to me, I don't like the way that you keep cutting me off every other word, and you can't even muster up the simple word saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You didn't, yes, okay, thank you.
Because you're spewing bullshit. It's not the reality of the world.
Bullshit. You won't even let me see, you're not even open to my perspective because you didn't let me talk.
If your perspective is wrong, I'm going to sit here and interrupt you and call out bullshit.
You're nobody to tell me my perspective is wrong. You need to open your mind.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is it possible to have a wrong opinion about something?
Possible for you to have a wrong opinion, too.
I never said it wasn't, but is it
What makes you think you're more intelligent and know more than me? How are you assuming that?
Well, first of all, when you sit here and say that that's not how the world works, when I'm telling you, from a man's point of view, most men, this is how the world fucking works. You go to work right now, most likely your boss is a fucking man. Most men are in leadership positions.
My boss is a woman.
Yeah, what do you do for a living?
I'm a massage therapist.
Oh.
Can I ask you a question, Stacey, please?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a massage therapist.
Was I right in refusing to move back to Michigan, where I did not have a job, would not have insurance for the family, and let alone not even have a roof to put over their head? Or should I have given up the $18 an hour job, the full insurance, and 8 acres in the house just to keep her happy? Should I move back to Michigan? Or should I have stayed on my laurels as a man and did what I needed to do and keep that family together and keep them here in a...
What I'm seeing is the disconnect between men and women.
No, the question is, should I have moved with her back to Michigan and given up the $18 an hour and the full benefit insurance and the house?
That's for y'all to agree with. That's a personal thing. That's for y'all to agree with.
Okay, well then let me ask you a real life question scenario. You and I are out on a date, right?
Okay.
You and I are out on a date, and somebody comes up and grabs your rear end okay, without trying to get too graphic for TikTok, and you didn't like it, but you're with me, what do you expect me to do in that situation? Just stand there and just allow that man to grab you back there on your rump, or do you expect me to do something about it?
I seen the situation handled.
What do you expect me to do?
There's
Just
multiple
stand
ways.
there, just stand there and allow this dude to grab up on you, or do you expect me to do something about it?
Are you the type of guy that's
Do
willing to
you
fight
expect
another
me
guy?
to stand there and
It
let
depends
him
on what
grab
type of
up
guy
on you?
are. I don't expect nothing from
What
you.
kind of guy
I don't expect
would you
anything.
rather be with? Would you rather be with a man that's going to stand there and just allow another man to grab up on you, or would you rather be with a man that stands there and sees another man grab up on you and beat the living brakes off of him? Which one would you rather be with? Which one would you respect?
I would want somebody in between those two. Everything's not black and white.
Which one out of the two? The one that's going to sit here and protect you, or the one that's going to sit here and let the world devour you? Which one?
I'd rather stand alone if it has to be that extreme.
Do not sit here and tell me. Hold on, wait a minute. Do not sit here. Look. First of all, do not sit here and tell me how the world fucking operates when you can't answer a simple ass question. See, if you're a real man, you don't even have to ask me what the hell I'll do in that situation. If you are my woman and another man felt froggy to touch you, I'm beating the living brakes off of him. Point blank, period. Or at least I'm going to die trying. So let me just say that one more time. You can't even decide what man you would respect in that scenario. A man is going to allow the world to devour you, or a man is going to stand up and protect you. Most women would choose the man that is going to protect them. That's most women. In fact, I'll argue and say all women who like men, that's the type of man that she would want, is a man that would protect her. Hence to why women want a man taller than her in most cases. Because we look like we're more dominant. We look like we're more terrifying. It makes her feel more secure. Secondly, who wants the emotional connection? I ain't never heard a fucking man a day in my life, except for one, and I'm no longer his friend, but I've never heard a man in my life ever talk about, I want me and my wife to sit here and she emotionally connected. I never hear that coming from a man. I hear that coming from women. I want to feel emotionally safe. I hear that coming from women, not from men.
I'm almost betting that she's the take the bear type.
So, again, if you're going to sit here and try to tell me how the fucking world operates and you can't even answer a simple fucking question, stay single for a while. Gain some maturity, gain some education, learn a thing or two, and then come back and have a conversation with me. Because most women want a man that can protect them. Point blank, period.
All are superheroes in your own head. You're a superhero in your own head. That doesn't happen. In the real world, that doesn't happen.
Bullshit. Maybe not now because y'all killed chivalry.
Yeah, that is definitely.
Now let me sit here and say I'm a fucking grown ass man. I try to be as old school and traditional as possible at my 36-year-old age and shit. But the simple thing is, the whole point that I'm making in this whole entire prompt, one of the biggest things is submission is not something that comes naturally. Either it's something that you're going to do because you choose to respect the man that you're with, that you choose to lie down with, you choose to have kids with, you choose to become that man's wife, right? Either you're going to choose to respect him and be submissive towards him, or you're not. And the ways that you don't is when a man brings up his issues, he's trying to lean on you, he's trying to come to you, seek guidance from you, get your opinion, this, that, and the third, and everything always turns into a fucking problem with you. When it doesn't, it's like what Crimson was sitting here talking about earlier. When I sit here and I say, hey, you shouldn't go out the house looking like that, and you decide to anyway, and disrespect me, and you put yourself, our relationship, this, that, and the third at risk, you don't respect me. You're putting me in a spot, in a situation where you are taking my power as a man, as a leader, away.
Mm-hmm.
So I say it again. How the fuck can you expect me to lead properly if you're not willing to allow a man to be a man? That requires something from you ladies. Let me say that again, that requires something from women. One of the biggest things is respect.
Mm-hmm. You see,
now hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute, because I want to introduce the other man up here. I want to say his name is Curly, and I don't know if he's a man. I got a different picture above it. All right, so we got Gues up in here, right? I want to give them an opportunity to speak, to say and see if they agree with me, disagree with me. What do y'all think? Am I fucking up here? Am I telling something wrong?
No, I don't think so.
What about you, Gues?
Yeah, to be clear, I just think that I agree wholeheartedly when it comes to what I believe you made clear is your intention of even having this topic laid out the way it is. But for clarity, like if I was to go over it so I can be clear before I say, my objective point of view, it's like it starts off old ladies. So we're addressing the ladies and say what they say. Y'all say that if a man would lead properly, then y'all women will submit naturally. So these are, and I agree with you. You're very strategic in wording it when you say to properly, if we would lead properly, then they would do such and such. They would submit naturally. Even though you've made it clear that there's a difference between something being natural and something being a choice. Am I correct so far?
Men are natural leaders. Women have to choose to be submissive.
Okay, so so in the yellow part that's highlighted, it says what they say will be is not something that they're even capable of doing. And do you have an issue with that, or is that what I'm? But let me just read it.
Women are capable of literally being submissive. They are. They show it time and time again.
No, the word
submissiveness. Hold on, wait a minute. That submissiveness in women is part of their lure to be able to get and obtain a man.
Is it by choice or
and
is it?
Comes here, yeah, it's all choice.
All right, is it not? Hold on. Is it natural?
This is not that women don't naturally submit to a man.
Oh, okay.
Even in the Bible.
Yeah. So that's all.
In the Bible, it says, "He who finds a wife, not a girlfriend, not a fiance.
Correct. I agree.
He who finds a wife." It means this woman has to sit here, and I'm not saying to be like shallow, but this woman has to learn how to be a wife to be a wife.
You're correct.
So when it comes to the word submission, even in the Bible,
Absolutely.
It's saying y'all got a choice.
That's true.
Y'all can be like Miss Madeline, that was that 304 in the Bible.
True.
Y'all can be like these 304s y'all see out here on Instagram and all of that. Y'all could do that.
That's
y'all
true.
Can sit here and say and use men and disrespect men. I mean, we see it widely. Y'all have to make a choice to be submissive to men.
Yeah, that's what.
Men don't have a choice to be a leader. Case in point. How many women do you know right now that go way out of their way to go get the BBLs, put wigs in their hair, wear nails, all to try to look like a lot of these women that you sit here and see on Instagram, OF.
Yeah, I agree.
How many women y'all see do that?
Yeah, I agree with
Now check this out. Wait. Check this out, because I'm dropping a jewel. See, women, whether they like to admit it or not, they follow men naturally.
Facts.
They follow men naturally. But submissive is a different word than follow, isn't it?
That's correct.
Women compete against other women to get the attention of a man.
Yeah.
A man who's literally walking the way that he's supposed to, he ain't competing for a woman. That's something boys do, not a man. Secondly, think about this. When it comes to OF, there's more than 83 million men. Majority of them white though. But there's more than 83 million men that subscribes to OF. And there's only 1.4 million women on that platform selling themselves in one way or another. So let me say it like this. If you have 83 million men and counting following and subscribe to different models that you see on OF, liking certain pictures on Instagram, and you got women over here by the dozens every day, literally trying to make themselves look like these women that men are saying we're attracted to, when in real life we're not. What do you think women are going to do? What do you think that tells you? Women naturally follow men whether they like to admit it or not.
That is true. That is
Men
absolutely
are naturally
true.
fucking
Yeah.
leaders,
Yeah.
whether we like to admit it or not.
That's true. That I see it. See now, these are the points where I agree with. But what I'm saying is, like, I was rehashing your title of the panel to get clarity, because it says y'all say that if men lead properly, that is a natural position for men. Then y'all women will submit naturally, which is not a position for women according to what you're saying, because naturally, for when it comes to women, they're not naturally followers. They have to make a choice according to what you're saying, correct?
Correct. Who asks who in their hand of marriage?
Yeah, we do. So they follow our
men
lead.
ask.
Yeah, they follow.
So
They follow.
Women have to make the choice to become your wife, right?
Correct. But I'm going somewhere with it. You're absolutely right. And then it says, so then you have a question. You say, how, after that, knowing that they can't submit naturally, because this is what's coming out of their mouth. So we already know that what is coming out of their mouth, when it comes to logical deduction, according to your outcome of it being a choice and not naturally, that's incorrect. But on top of that, you have him as the good guy in the red lettering. It says, then how can us men lead properly if women doesn't simply allow us men to be men? Now, what I would say is, this would spark a good conversation. It might sounds a bit controversial, but I wholeheartedly agree with your intention, like to triangulate to fix the problem that between the male and female dynamic. You know what I mean? So the only thing I was have like the issue was the wording, because you just clarified it, saying men women follow men whether they realize it or not. So no woman could stop a man from being a man simply because when you utilize the word allow, it's posturing as if she's giving like a sort of taking away from your authority that God gave us. So she may
And
challenge.
she does.
I know, but listen, hold on. She might.
To be disrespectful.
Yeah, I know you're right.
She
She might challenge. She might challenge our authority. She might attempt to violate our authority. But in order for women, she can't never take away that authority unless you give it to her. Now, men are governed. A male goes to be a man in a position by principle. So by principle, it seems like you're asking the question, okay, what do men do when women start to violate? And if you like, you gave an example of like, look, baby, I don't want you to go out dressed provocatively.
What is a woman's biggest power when it comes to a man? Earlier I used the L word, L-U-R-E, and believe it or not, it's a powerful thing, but it ain't her biggest power feature. What is a woman's greatest asset to a healthy relationship?
What is her asset?
Asset.
Her great submission.
And even though it's her greatest asset is also her greatest weapon.
Children.
No.
Well, answer that. You could just simply tell us.
I know the answer to it, but I'm asking you to see if y'all know the answer to it.
Well, I would say, when it comes to a woman like me, for me, it would be like she respects me. It has nothing to do with, and unless you're talking about her seduction.
Those are the result of. but that's not her greatest asset, and at the same time could be her biggest weapon. Here's the answer, right?
Yeah,
it's her
let's.
mouth. It's her mouth, her words, her mouth. How she decides to use them. Her mouth. She can either speak life into you,
Yes,
or she can speak death into you.
that's correct.
She can either help raise you up just by her words,
Facts.
followed by her actions,
Yes.
or she could tear you down just by her words and her actions.
That's-
Her greatest asset and her weapon is her mouth.
All
You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if I am expected to lead, which is something that men do naturally, and
Yes.
we want to do it naturally for our
Yes.
women and children. We want to make sure that they are good, they are protected,
Yeah.
they got everything that they need, right? We do this naturally. This is
Yeah.
how we are naturally.
Yeah.
You go out in the world right now, there's predominantly men in leadership positions, from the workforce, the blue collar industries, to all these different industries, including inside of government. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, most of these men rose to the powers that they rose because a lot of times, more often than not, and it's around 80% the last time I looked, but I had to say and say 80% of these type of men are married.
Correct.
You know what type of woman that it took to get a man that came from absolutely nothing and help inspire him to
Yeah, a
become
woman that-
everything that he can be and whatever
Yeah,
it is that he set out.
A
That
great
took a
woman.
who would
Yeah.
who use her mouth
That's
as
right.
a tool to speak life into her man.
You are absolutely
now, again,
right. Yeah.
The things behind it, what comes with it, is the act of submission.
Correct.
Act of submission is a woman showing a man the respect that he deserves, which is
All
how
right.
women show men that they love them. Men crave respect.
All right. Now
So
you.
again, to break it down in the most simplest terms, right? If I'm sitting here coming to my woman and I have something on my chest that I need to get off,
Yes, sir.
naturally, we're not trying to come to our women and be on that rah-rah, aggressive, dominant shit. We're not. Not naturally. No, we're trying to coddle our woman the same way we would coddle our daughter, in a sense, right? We sit here and try to come to her gentle, respectful, and making sure that the way that we are talking is coming out of a place called love, and not a place from anger or any other place that makes us look aggressive. Because naturally, we want our women to feel safe with us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Naturally, that's what we want. The last person or the last type of women that we want to hurt is our wives and our moms, and our grandmamas,
Yeah.
and our aunties. If you ever grew up in the hood, go ahead and say something about dude's mom and see what happened. Say something
Exactly.
about his baby mama and see what happened. Naturally, what would happen? No ands, ifs, or buts. It's almost like pow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into detail, but naturally, this is how we are. We try to coddle our women.
Yeah.
So, a woman, in return, is supposed to give her man respect. And by her being submissive, by her choosing to be submissive, she's going to be respectful to her man. So when a man's coming to her, talking to her about stuff, she ain't going to sit here and respond by being argumentative. She's not going to sit here and respond by cutting this man off every other fucking word to the point where he has to tell this woman to shut up.
You are. Hey, brother. I'm with you on that.
When this man saying tell this woman, don't go out that house looking half naked.
Yeah. You're right.
If she respects him and she's
Yeah.
submissive and she's choosing to be submissive, she's going to listen to her man.
Hey, but it seems
So submissiveness don't come naturally. It's a choice.
all right. So yeah, I understood that, but so it seems like you're asking like you made it abundantly clear that, and I totally agree with this. Women follow
So
men.
how do you let a man be a man?
Hold on, I'm about to
By being
answer.
submissive.
Yeah, I'm about to answer it. See, because I'm about to answer it, right? Women naturally follow men, right? And the only thing that I would, suggest as far as the wording, because it puts you in the posture as if she has the power to take away your authority, when actually she does not. It's up to you to maintain your authority within that and your sphere. So I'll say it like this: to answer your question, how can you us men lead properly, even if she seems to be out of pocket, right? Because in order you have to give her a reason. Now, knowing that women follow men, a man must respect himself first. He has to value himself first. And by valuing himself, he's not going to accept anyone into his life that doesn't value him as he value himself. He won't accept a woman into his life that won't
A
respect
high
him.
value, not that I'm cutting
Hold
you
on.
off, but a high value man, according to the Bible, is a man who is able to lead while following the guidance of the Most High.
Absolutely. So let me
Take the
finish.
Bible
Let
or
me
take
finish.
religion out of
Yeah, I
it.
was
We
saying.
just
I was
saying
about
say
to say
purpose.
that. I was about to say that. As he's following Christ, and which is the head of our life, and God is the head of Christ. She has to. He has to be in alignment. And a woman of virtue, a woman that she has becoming a woman, because males are not men and females are not women. Men and women are positioned. So that woman in her that was once a female and followed the Most High and the tenets of the Most High, like Lanye, the girl that you had on here earlier, her mother was beautiful, blessing to her, because she's such, it's a famine in the land for mothers to actually raise their daughters to hear those beautiful words that proceeded forth out of her mouth. That was so pleasant to hear. You know why it was so pleasant? Because it was such a rarity. We're used to having these modern women, Kevin Samuels, Jezebelite, of wicked. It's the rise of the immoral woman. But one thing I do know about women that see a man that respects himself will go with he only likes who likes him. That should be the principle number one. Should be respect above love. I've seen many women that love some men, but they don't respect him. But that man
And
has to demand respect. So that's how
I'm
we
not
can
going to sit
lead.
here and take anything away that men don't have any
No,
responsibility
no, you're addressing the
for the,
women.
like for their
Yeah.
divorce or for their breakup.
No, I'm not
Like
saying you
even in
saying
my
that.
own situation, like I said,
Yeah.
I knew my wife from the moment that I met my wife to the time I got the chance to marry her. It took me 11 months.
Yeah.
I moved way too fast. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
You see that?
So in that aspect, you don't get to see every version of your woman, right?
That's true.
But this is that lore that I sat here and talked about
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, I get
Right?
it.
Women know that if a woman sit here and try to tell me right now that they didn't know that their biggest asset and their weapon is in their mouth and how they present themselves as a way to
Yes.
sit here and attract a man,
Yeah.
I know they're lying. Knowing what I
Exactly.
know now, I know they're lying.
Yep.
Right? But without this type of knowledge, without these type of
Yeah.
platforms like what y'all seeing me do right now,
Yeah.
a lot of men won't see this shit.
That's true.
But then again, a lot of women who really don't know this shit, they will never be able to address this shit, which is why I do these lives on topics that I make.
And
Now,
that's
we
why I
just
commend you
established
for
something
your
about
intention.
nature, right?
Yeah, your intention.
Nature is just something that happens. If women were naturally submissive, we would not see women doing the things that they do right now. Point blank, period. We don't have to ask for it. We don't have to fight for it. We don't have to have the pushbacks like you see in the comment section, or that you seen from women that I actually had on the panel. This wouldn't be a fucking issue.
Yeah, but God didn't make them that way. God didn't make them that way. God made them. God didn't make them that way.
That's the whole point that I'm making. A man leads naturally.
That's right.
A woman needs to choose to be submissive.
Yeah,
That's why I
but
said it
God.
the way I said it. A man can only lead if she allows him to lead.
Oh no, I
If
see.
he wants to be led,
No.
he's got to be the leader.
No.
Right.
According, no. The host said.
Led by him.
The host. Hey, bro.
The point that we
What
are
he just
missing
said.
as men that I made down there in the bottom part, to an extent, you guys are right. But this is the point that y'all are missing. We end up getting into relationships with women without even women that we thoroughly vet, right?
Okay.
But then we sit here, we sit here and we go the extra mile in order to try to keep them happy because we still somehow, some way, operate on happy life thinking.
That's a false
Right.
doctrine, though.
And then we put ourselves in these situations where we end up getting married.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not against marriage. I don't want anyone to sit here and think that. But I'm not against marriage. But if you're married, you have a lot more to lose than what a woman does.
No, you made that.
In the event of a divorce. And now, all the men up here, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't even have to go down in statistics.
Yeah, I get it.
I got it in case there's any woman. I got those statistics and those facts in case women want to challenge me. But my whole point, what I'm saying is when you put yourself in a position where you got a lot to lose, right?
Yeah.
You can't just leave that situation on because she didn't listen to you that one time about, you know what I'm saying? Or because she disrespected you that one time. She left with exposing herself. She want to walk out there like Kanye's wife.
Yeah.
You can't just leave your kids because you do know the moment that happens, half of everything y'all worked hard for, half the kids, 30% of the time, you would only be awarded 50-50 at best. You will lose a lot more by walking away from her, especially the longer that y'all been together and y'all built together. And so just to sit here and try to just to sit there and try to assert your authority as a man. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you're gonna run into. You're gonna.
Why in the prompt, it's written the way that it's written.
Yeah.
Women won't allow men to be men, right? You
no,
have to allow
brother.
me to be a man for me to sit here and lead properly.
No, brother. No,
and the
brother.
only way that I can be a man in my relationship without fucking going crazy is if you give me the respect I deserve.
No, brother. Right. I disagree with that.
You choose to be submissive.
I disagree with that.
If you sit here and speak life into me, you're not cutting me off every other word. You're giving me the patience. You're giving me your grace. You're giving me your forgiveness. You're giving me your respect. You're giving me your best at all fucking times.
Well,
period.
All right, can I say this? All right, can I say this?
Husbands and most dads have a lot more to lose than what most people like to sit here and admit. So when I say you don't let us be men, you can disrespect me, but it's not like I can kick you out.
All right, let me.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Hey, can I say this? You have to be a man regardless of all of those because we are governed by principle. We're followed under Christ. You know what I mean? We're under God. And we are the beginning and the end of the situation. It all begins and ends with us. She's not big. She's not big enough to come ready made. She's not big enough to. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. She's not. She may not walk the same shoes or read the same books or prayed the same prayers as a leader. You know what I mean? We're actually out there in the war zone. She's not built or equipped to even go in there. So everything begins and ends, and the alpha and omega of all this situation is with the man. It's almost like you're taking a position. Hold on. It's like you're almost taking a position of hold on. Wait 1 second, sir. It's almost like you're taking the position of Adam when Eve chose to listen to the serpent, and he yielded to his wife, and who yielded to the idea of the serpent. Adam was punished for that. What he should have did was say, I'll take full responsibility as a man for someone that you put in subject to me. She's subordinate to you. So I can't blame her. You can't blame her.
That is flawed.
You can't blame. You can't simply. I agree that they. Don't get me wrong, brother, because I'm with you. I agree that they're doing a lot of out of pocket things and things of that nature. But I can guarantee you this: a woman, a virtuous woman. If you want a virtuous woman, you have to be a virtuous man, and she would see as they being our reflection. She would follow you. She would follow you, and you won't. And you have to like the ones that like you, and they have to. If you only tolerate women that respect you, if she does not respect you offhand, suppose she don't know how to act, because a lot of them wasn't raised like Lanye. So
Right, and
if you have
that
the
is true, but
capacity, if you have the
'cause
capacity to
I
teach
really,
her, if you have the
I get
capacity
where
to,
you're going with this, but I really want you to hear me out because after that, I get ready to end this live because I
oh,
gotta be
okay,
at work in the
okay,
morning, right?
yeah, I just
Here's
wanted to let you
why I
know
say
that
it's
part.
flawed.
Yeah, yeah,
Because in today's world, even though most of our women could fall for that serpent, whether that serpent
yes,
is her single best friend or that serpent
correct,
is the shit that she's consuming on TV or that serpent happens to be that male friend that she won't give up for whatever reason,
yeah,
right? It don't matter. At the end of the day, the world that we live in today, if you get married to a woman, if a woman leaves you, she's incentivized, whether we like to admit it or not,
correct,
right?
yeah,
She gets to keep damn near everything. She gets child support. She gets fucking alimony, and 10% of divorces that's paid out literally 97% of the time from men to women,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Not only that, depending on how much she makes, if she works or don't work, she also gets government assistance in the form of Medicare, Section 8, food
sure,
stamps,
yep,
etc.,
you are
etc.
right, yep,
So if a woman leaves a man, she's technically incentivized just based off of all of those things.
correct,
So essentially, in a lot of women's mind, and especially the younger women's mind,
yeah,
is that they think it's an easier lifestyle going through it on the other side. When the truth is, I wonder how much change will come if the way that divorces are able to happen, the way that custody is passed out, if paternity tests and shit like that on children are mandatory. I wonder how many women would choose differently, act differently, treat their husbands differently, because they know they're not going to win on the other side of it.
stay patient,
Like,
brother, because
that
Trump,
right there would be
yeah,
that
Trump
right there
put
would
that
produce
in
a
there,
big ass outcome for us.
yeah, Trump
So
just,
the reason why I worded it,
yeah,
the reason why I worded it the way that I worded it is simply based off of those incentives.
yeah, Trump just did that though, you're right.
Let me just point this back. My biggest thing is, right now, I am a divorced father at 2.
Yes,
Okay?
so am I.
I fought to
Yeah.
get my 2 kids. I had 50-50 in my kids. And I actually did something that most men pays $30,000, $40,000, $50,000
to do.
$150, and I read laws and knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
Right? That's why I say I talk with intent.
yeah,
The reason why
I get it.
talk with intent. I'm not an uneducated
Yeah,
person. I'm really not.
but
I'm
I
not
went
a
through the
doctor
same
either.
thing. Yeah,
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not none of these
yeah,
relationship gurus. None of that. I'm just trying to bring back common sense
yep,
to real relationships. And if you really just act out in common sense and you look at things from a logical perspective, relationships is not really that hard. It really isn't. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, men lead naturally. Women submit by choice. Women choose whether or not to submit. And the funny part about it is most of these women who sit here and talk about, I would choose to submit, it proves my point. In the beginning of this, in the beginning of this entire live stream that I did, right? I literally sat here and said that there's going to be 3 type of people, 3 type of women that's going to sit here and prove the point that I make in my
yeah, I heard that.
And
I heard
these women
that.
going to be the women that cut me off every other
You
word.
right.
These are the women that's going to be pushed. They're just going to push back and try to be argumentative, or women that's going to literally sit here and be tanned, like, you know, like they're trying to have a genuine conversation just for them to wind up arguing with me or being insulted. Now, here's the part that I find super hilarious about this. Out of everybody that's been on here, I already dropped a few people because of how disrespectful they were.
It was all women.
Almost every woman except for 2 or 3
Yep,
literally proved my point
they did.
in the thing that I'm saying.
They did.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm talking and you're cutting me off, this, that, and the third, man, we show each other respect almost innately to each other because we understand our place amongst each other.
Let me ask you a question.
But with that being said,
let me ask.
The point of me doing this is just to point something out to women, especially the women that sat down and just watched it and
Yeah.
keeping an open mind. See, the whole point,
Yeah.
the whole one of the biggest ways to have a long-term and successful marriage with your partner is if you choose to respect them, if you choose to submit to them.
Correct.
If you speak life
But they
into
have
them.
you have to give them a reason. That you have to give them a reason, and I'll just say this, and then I'll go. Listen, brother, I went through the same thing you have. Been married and 2 children, all of that, and try to fight to get them. I didn't win. I wasn't successful. I agree with you, and I know where you're going with this. And but what I will say is this. What I've learned from that experience is that a lot of things that I want from that woman, I had to become, first. So at the end of the day, in any family structure or any relationship structure, me being the head, me being the man, the alpha and omega, beginning and end of the relationship, my opinion has dominion within that relationship. So say if she's acting out of pocket and she's not raised correctly, I might take on the position to, amend her ways by saying, listen, the way you're cutting me off, I've been an example to you for the past 6 or 7 months, to you, as every time that you were talking, I never cut you off. But I also let you know that it's a problematic for me. This is through communication because it begins with me. I'm setting forth a precedent so she can follow. So I was by living it before her first, not talking it. I live it. I actually become the word made flesh to her so she can see the example. She may not be like Lanye had a mother to show her, but if she respects me or likes me and she does something, simply out of her not knowing or ignorance, I would inform her, listen, baby, it's problematic, for you to cut me off as I'm speaking. You notice for the whole time that we've been together, I've been nothing but an example for you to actually exemplify, or I exemplify something you should glorify before me. I never cut you off.
What are you doing? And that becomes my question. What are you doing in those moments?
Well, that's why I'm
Right?
I'm educated.
You're
Hold on.
being a leader. Like,
Yeah, I'm being
a leader. You're doing something
but
and you're naturally
yeah, I'm being a
going to do.
I'm being a leader, but I'm also being a teacher because I understand that
What
a
is
lot
a
of
leader?
women are not. You're right. They're not raised to in this society to respect men. And if she has a lot of liking to me, and I showed her respect, I demand respect by teaching her. So when you're asking the question, how can hold on when
That's why. That's
hold on
that's the part about being a
when
leader, though, right?
when you're asking how can us men lead properly, I'm giving you an example of something that I've actually lived.
But
Even though
I'm not
even
asking how us men can lead
I
properly.
know,
What
but
I'm
you're saying
is,
if
how
women,
can we
you're
lead
saying if
properly
women,
are not
I
allowing
know.
men
Let me
to be
finish.
men?
Let me finish, brother. See, because that's exactly where I was going before you interjected. It says, how can men lead properly if women doesn't simply allow us men to be men? What I gathered out of that question is that you're seeking an answer if they're being somewhat cutting you off or if they're being somewhat disrespectful or whatever. In order for me to get to lead properly when she's opposing or whatever, I have to live it and give her example of how it is to be not disrespectful, how it is to live before her, how not to cut me off, how to listen, I'm actually being a living example to her so she can see. So when I bring up the issue and say, baby, listen, I know this is the 3rd time, but look, what do you want me to do? You're kind of forcing me to, dissolve this relationship because you said you respect me, but your actions are not reflecting that. Like, I'm giving you grace. I'm giving you grace. But if this
Look,
continues,
I'll leave you with this, all right? Because like I said, I'm getting ready to get off here in a minute.
all right,
All right?
brother.
I really want you to pay attention. There's
Yeah,
an
but I
old saying,
wanted you to hear
right?
that
That
we
in the
have to
beginning
live
of
it
a
first.
relationship, a man will treat you, the woman, right? The man will treat the woman how he expects his woman to treat her. And then he will begin to start treating that woman the same way that
No,
woman
we have to
treats
be
him.
first. We have to be first, brother.
Well, I understand you have to be first, right? Men set the tone. So when I come into the relationship, I'm gonna treat you the way that I want to be treated. We
That's
practice
right.
this every day when we talk to people.
Yeah.
You don't just go up to people and just start talking to them disrespectfully, or you're gonna get met with a disrespectful tone. Now, me, I like to make people laugh, so I got all the jokes all day, every day. I say some of the most randomest things just to make people smile and laugh. I'm known for that. But at the end of the day, I treat people how I want to be treated.
That's right.
But the moment I am treated in a manner which don't want to be treated, I'm going to treat you the same way that you treat me. In most cases. Now, in a relationship, again, most men are going to treat their woman exactly how they want their woman to treat them in some regards, right?
Yeah.
With respect, with
you have to live it in front of them.
Understanding, with remembering, and keep going and going and going. But based on how that woman treats her man, eventually that man is going to start treating her the same way.
No.
That she treats him.
No.
I'm just saying, that's the saying that
that's not manhood. That's not manhood.
I'll say it just like you're not listening though.
No, I heard you, but that's where we just.
So let me land my plan because after this, I'm getting ready to get off here.
All right.
In other words, men sit here and we set the tone. We sit here and tell you what it is that we want from you, what we expect from you, what it is that we need and desire from you. All right? The moment you start going out of that era, right? And we sit here and we try to correct you. And at that point, you just don't listen. You just not trying to understand us, like everything that we're trying to tell you that will make this relationship better, not only for us, but for me, for you, for everybody, right? And it would be a much beautiful place. And she chooses to not step in that line. At that point, she's pretty much proven the point of what I got right there on the prompt. Again, men are natural leaders. This is just what it is. I pointed that out earlier. When I sat here and I brought it up, isn't it funny how a lot of women nowadays are going out, get these BBLs, wear these fake hair, get these nails, make themselves look like the very thing that they see us, men.
Yeah,
like
wanting one.
Yeah. Follow on OF.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? That we
you're
like
right.
on TV, this, that, and the third.
You're right.
Right there kind of just sums up the point that men are innately leaders and women innately follow us, whether we like to admit this fact or not. That's nature. But submission is a choice.
No,
submission is a choice. You can choose to respect somebody.
You're
right.
You can choose
to sit here and be cool to somebody. You can choose to sit here and argue with someone. You can choose to disrespect somebody.
I got one last
if you're
question.
In a relationship, man, hold on, wait a minute.
If
you're in a relationship, if you're married and stuff, I say this once and I've said this a million times, but if you're in a relationship, it's about a man serving his wife serving her man, and a lot of that takes the same amount of choices. So again, if you want me to lead, you have to allow me to be a man, because as a man, I will naturally lead, but it takes you to make the choices to be submissive, to be respectful, to be kind. To be humble. It's okay to correct me, but it's the power is in your tongue. So how you address me, it depends on the outcome you're gonna get from me.
I think it's just
vice versa.
I think it's just what it is. Yeah, I think it's just your wording.
I'll say this, like I say always, man, you gotta sit here and be honest with yourself, so that way you could be honest with the rest of the world. And it doesn't matter what it is that you're going through in life. If you learn how to sit here and open your eyes and be grateful, you learn how to do this one thing that I say all the time in my farewells, and that's called be motherfucking easy. I just want to sit here and give a shout out to everybody for showing me the love. Almost got 10K in likes, man. I really do appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern with the same topic. this one has been a fucking ride. It's been amazing. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy and y'all stay humble.
I just got one last question before you go. Never mind. Yeah, let me say this. Let me say this in closing because he had to go. You know, and shout out to him. Shout out to the brother for having that live and that conversation. But that's me and my boy Mega. But listen, men. Now that brother, Aaron, I'm respectfully, I'm allow him to see this and send it to him. But I just think his topic needs adjusting, because he's saying in order for him to be a man, she has to be a woman. And according to Andre Taylor, who I consider one of my mentors, if I was to say that to him, he would tell me, don't you ever say that again. And he expounded on, because and would say to me, you be a man regardless if she's being a woman or not. You don't change. So what I was going to ask Aaron is, so say she's cutting you off or being disrespectful, and Aaron, you said if she's doing that, you're going to start treating her the same way she's treating you. So does that mean that you're going to start cutting her off and being rude to her? No. That violates the tenets and the principles of manhood. You don't change. What I was taught is you have to live that example in front of her. But I'm not going to lie, the brother seems like he's hurt. He's speaking from a place of hurt. And, it's giving like he wants to blame the woman. Blame the woman. When he doesn't even realize that we are the alpha and omega of this situation. We are the beginning and the end. Brother, that responsibility falls on us as leaders. And he's himself in that doctrine of saying a woman allowing him. I think he's trying to say a woman challenging him. What do you do? How can we lead properly if she's challenging you? You bring down the rod of correction if need be. Or you realize that if she keeps opposing you, then number one, she probably doesn't respect you. No, number one is even before respect. She don't like you like that. But this dude, was pouring out, saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, lets me know that he is like literally married to that idea that he constructed and crystallized this doctrine. And it's false from its inception of a woman allowing him to be a man. That's a foundation built upon sand. And any man or any so-called male professing to be a man come across that doctrine, that is a devilation. Because look at the posturing of that. Her allowing you to be a man. The posture of that is weak from its inception. Like, no. So we have to come together and put some paint where it ain't and say what most can't, because that is false doctrine. That is very dangerous to the tenets of man and the principles and laws that govern of manhood, because that is not manhood. You can't be no man when you relying on a woman allowing you to be a man. You're still a male. You're still of the male gender. You have not earned a position to be a man yet. And it really denotes crybabying it comes off like a weeping and gnashing of teeth, like he already been cast in outer darkness and all that. No, we don't do that. You dig? We don't do that. So this is going out for the lessons. Anybody that come across this, man, y'all see, Guess Who the Rapper, aka the Grand Ambassador of Flash Dynasty. Nobody's fly as fine as me. You're lacing your brain with some of this incredible and glorious game. Once again, man. And look, game is the antidote to this out-of-pocket or immoral woman, the rise of the immoral woman. The game is the antidote to that. The game will lead you to the golden glow. You know what I'm saying? And we thank the Most High, the God of the creator of the heavens and earth, the Father of lights, for descending upon us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Put them all together in modern vernacular. We call this game, or uncommon information, or elevated information, or illuminated information. Man, because, oh my Lord, this dude, Aaron, much respect to him. I think his premise is, or his intention is correct, but his presentation will not be acceptable, because in the late great Sinful the P state says everything must be presentable before it's acceptable. It's his appearance that was running the interference. Give her a reason. She's not just going. Why we keep wanting them to just show up? Just because we're a male of gender. No, we have to be man in position. She's not going to respect you just for nothing. Give her a reason. You know what I mean? Give her a reason. That's what I was trying to explain to him. Give her a reason, brother. Live before her that which you want. You want respect? Live and become one with respect in your day-to-day actions. Show her what it is. Blessings to Lanye and her mother. And she's beautiful for that. But, I mean, brother, you get this. I hope you get this. But I implore you to listen to this, brother. No woman has the power to allow you to be a man. Okay? And I think you have to, I don't know, but it seems as if you need some healing. But you definitely need to amend that title that was on your panel. No, brother. No. Because you are indirectly, but that yet directly violating the tenets of manhood for coming from that weak and low posture. That posturing is weak from its inception, brother. So, with that being said, man, I'm going to end it just like this, man. Y'all have a blast past, wild now, and greater later. Y'all live the life of your design so you can have a good time for a lifetime. Live the life of the Most High's design so your life will be divine for the rest of your lifetime, man. Man, it's Guess Who the Rapper, a.k.a. the Grand Ambassador of Flesh Dynasty, nobody's fly as fine as me. Lace your brain with some incredible and glorious game. Yeah, I'm signing out, and I'm saying grace, blessings, and peace and love to all y'all, man. Y'all be blessed.